Hey everyone, it's Kismet Ailey. Welcome back. So, it's January 2026, and if your playlist is anything like mine, it is just completely dominated by SB19. I mean, they're everywhere, selling out stadiums, topping the charts. They are basically defining this whole era of music. But today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to rewind. We're not just here to celebrate the victory. We're performing an autopsy on the one song that almost stopped it all.
All right, let's just jump right into it. Just this month, SB19 officially crossed 1 billion streams on Spotify. Yeah, that's billion with a B. And look, that's not just a number, right? It's proof. It's a testament to a journey that, and this is the crazy part, almost ended before it even got started. It just makes this whole milestone feel so much bigger.
But what's really wild is that this entire empire, this billion-stream legacy we're seeing right now, was built on the absolute edge of total collapse. I mean, can you even imagine a world without SB19? It was almost our reality, and it was all because of one song. Okay, so let's go back. The year is 2018. The P-pop scene is just kind of starting to bubble up, you know? It hadn't really exploded yet. And into this quiet world drops Tilaluha. Now, this wasn't just another debut single. This song was carrying all of their hopes. And it almost completely crushed them when the world just, well, it wasn't ready to listen.
Just look at this timeline. I mean, it is a total roller coaster. 2018, Tilaluha comes out to basically crickets. Can you imagine pouring every last bit of your soul into something and the world just kind of shrugs? They were so close to calling it quits. But then 2019 happens. Go Up drops, and it's not just a song, it's a lifeline. It was the spark that lit the massive fire that brings us all the way here to 2026, looking at a group that is nothing short of legendary.
So, the most important point here is this was never about the song being bad. Not at all. It was all about timing. The world simply hadn't caught up to the absolute genius that they packed into this heartbreaking ballad. The stakes, they could not have been higher.
And that brings us to our deep tissue autopsy. We're about to break down the technical skeleton of this track and, at the same time, explore its emotional haunting. So yeah, let's put on our lab coats for a second and get a little nerdy.
Okay, let's get into the vocal architecture, because this is actual genius. Think of it like you're building a house, right? You've got Ken down here providing this solid, deep foundation with his voice. That's the stuff you literally feel in your chest. And then, soaring over all of that, you have Stell's voice with these crystal clear high notes that just slice right through everything. It's this unbelievable balance of raw power and pure delicacy.
But here's the thing. Data and numbers only tell you half the story. Emotionally, listening to this song, it feels like a glitch in a Neon Cathedral. It's that exact feeling of standing on a rain-slicked street in Manila, watching the whole world just slow down around you. It's beautiful, and it's isolating, and it's just completely electric.
So how in the world do they actually build that Neon Cathedral with sound? Well, it's a really cool production trick. Imagine a single word. They let the very first sound of that word, like a sharp T or K, hit you really hard and clear. That's the bite. And then right after that initial hit, this huge wave of echo or reverb just washes over it, making it feel massive and haunting. That's what gives the vocals that incredible, breathtaking sense of space.
So this is basically the song's blueprint. At its heart, it's built on this really classic and satisfying chord progression. It's like the musical version of Coming Home, you know? But they wrap that simple core in these really complex, gorgeous harmonies that create so much emotional tension. The piano kind of guides you through this whole journey. And even though the song has a standard, steady beat, the way they pace the emotions makes it feel like time is just standing still.
At all of these technical things, they serve one single purpose: to deliver an emotional gut punch. I mean, every single member pours their soul into their lines. So I have to ask you, which member's solo in Tilaluha just hits you the hardest? You have to drop it in the comments because, honestly, I am still recovering from Still's high note.
All right, so let's talk about legacy and see how this all connects. This underdog ballad, this literal trial by fire, it didn't just fade away into history. No, it became the blueprint for everything that came next.
The transformation here it's just mind-blowing. In 2018, it got a weak reception that almost broke them. Flash forward 8 years, and it's being called the national anthem of heartbreak on TikTok. This song went from being what they thought was their biggest failure to being the absolute soul of who they are. It's such a powerful reminder that sometimes the world just needs a little bit of time to catch up to greatness.
And this right here This is the key takeaway. Tilaluha wasn't a failure, it was a boot camp. It set the standard for everything that came after it. That vocal complexity, that raw, unfiltered emotion, that became their DNA. And now that they're in full control of their own music with Onesie Entertainment, you can still hear the echoes of that early trial. It proved to themselves, and eventually to the world, that they could create something technically brilliant without losing a single ounce of heart.
So, what's my final verdict on all this? For me, Tilaluha gets a 9.5 out of 10 layers of cosmic dust. It's polished, it's painful, and it is nearly perfect. It only loses half a point because I physically cannot listen to it without needing an entire box of tissues. So what's your rating? And hey, if you've ever been personally victimized by a ballad like this one, go ahead and hit that like button. We can start a support group or something.
And all of this leaves us with one final thought. The song's journey from a near failure to this celebrated icon, well, that's the story of SB19 itself, isn't it? It's a story of resilience, of believing in your art even when it feels like no one else does. So, what does that tell us about where they're headed next? I mean, if this was how they started, their future is truly limitless. If you enjoy these kinds of autopsies, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss whatever we decide to break down next.